let's move on over to this because there's another situation that's happening, except this time in Beverly Hills, and fans are questioning the legitimacy of this. Have you heard?
The flood.
The flood. Dorit, Kimsley, and PK sued the insurance company after their mansion flooded when they accidentally left the water running, which, if you read the title and you don't know the backstory, you're like, oh, that sucks. But then if you know the backstory and you think about like the different insurance claims and you add in burglaries and businesses and debts and lawsuits, of course, you have fans going down the rabbit hole wondering, is this just like, do you guys have really shitty luck? Or is this something that may be worth looking into? Which I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying this is what the fans are saying. Please, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I have some thoughts on this. I am not on the conspiracy theory bandwagon that
Okay.
the robbery was a setup.
Oh,
I don't think that
I
somebody
hate
would
that.
want to do that to themselves. I mean, that was super scary. The kids were home. No, no, no. However, I will kind of repeat what I said about Kim. I don't always understand how they afford their lifestyle. I mean, we know that PK is Boy George's manager, but does he have any other clients? Not really that we know of. So, I mean, we've heard that Dorit is like buying everything retail. She owns everything. It's not borrowed. How do they afford this? How do they afford this? I don't know. I don't want to think because Dorit and PK are such gems, at least on the show. I love them. They seem like great parents, like great people. They're very sweet and loyal, and I've really grown to love them. So I don't want to believe it, but I have a lot of questions. What
Yeah,
do you think?
I think it's fair to have questions, but I think that like no matter what, you're on reality TV. So it's probably so annoying for people like us to them to be talking about it. But it's like, I mean, when you start seeing the thing is once you see other housewives like Jen Shaw is in a prison right now. Teresa ended up serving time at camp. You know what I mean? Like the Girardis. Once you start seeing how capable other people are of manipulating the system, you don't really, you can't help but not put it past anyone. You know what I mean? So
I
I think
know.
you want to give them the benefit of the doubt, but you're like, oh man, this is a little questionable.
Yeah, everything else really has like come out of nowhere, honestly. I mean, we've been shocked several times on the Housewives, so you really don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I mean, I don't know, a robbery and a flood within 2 years, like I don't know, maybe it's not super suspicious. If something else happens, maybe I will start to get suspicious, but we're definitely starting to see again a little bit of a pattern, so I'm going to keep my eye on them. I'm going to keep my eye on them.
Cool. You know what else is interesting too? And I had Ricky Cornish on yesterday to recap OC with me, and he does amazing interviews for Out Magazine, like such a ball of energy. The guy is like great. And he was talking to me. He's like, you know what's weird? He's like, this could be tea, maybe it's not. But I've heard some rumblings on here, and I'm giving this to you, Adam, that Dorit and Kyle might be on the outs. And I was like, you know what's weird is I haven't seen Dorit respond to anything about the Kyle stuff. I haven't seen her photographed with her. I haven't seen them filming together at this point. I haven't seen any statements. Like Teddy even came out and said, I'm not speaking on this. This is one of my best friends. What
Yeah,
happened?
I know. I know it's getting again suspicious. I mean, we saw Kyle and Dorit at Craig's last week or I'm sorry, Kyle and Teddy at Craig's last week for her birthday, and you would have think maybe Dorit would be there. I think she's part of the Fox Force 5, but she wasn't. And I don't know. We have not seen them together. We've seen Kyle, posting a lot of photo dumps lately. She loves a good photo dump on Instagram, and Dorit is nowhere to be found. It's kind of seems like they aren't spending any time together. And I don't know. I have a feeling that something went down on this last season that they just filmed.
Well, speaking of this last season, Kim, Garcelle recently went on Watch What Happens Live and confirmed what Andy confirmed, which when watching this season, you will see as fans, you will have your suspicions and see what's going on with Kyle and Mauricio. But Garcelle confirmed her and Sutton actually had suspicions while filming about what was going on with Kyle and Mauricio. Then page 6, I talked to you about this a little bit at the beginning, but page 6 was pointing out every time they're like, confirm split, confirm split, confirm split. And I'm like, Kyle said we're not splitting. So do you guys just know something and they're trying to do damage control and you guys are already like, no, we already know you're splitting. So we're going to stick with the split story. Because like they put out a statement. She's like, I'm not divorcing. I'm not splitting. But then they confirm cameras pick back up for the new season. So it makes you like, what do we believe?
Okay, so I think that they are just kind of trying to explain the difference between separation and divorce. I do think that Kyle and Mauricio are separated. Now, are they going to get divorced officially? Maybe not. So what I took from that is that they are trying to work on things. However, you know, I live in Orange County. I have friends in LA that do run in some of the same circles as these housewives. And I'm sorry, but there have been rumblings about not Kyle, but Mauricio for quite a while now. So I wouldn't be surprised if that is what Garcelle and Sutton are referring to, you know, that maybe somebody hasn't been faithful. I don't know. This is all alleged. This is just like the talk of the town, which we know can, you know, get out of control. But right. I think that, you know, there's been some rumblings for a while now. So I have a feeling that maybe it was brought up this past season and that's what Garcelle and Sutton are talking about. But I do think that it's just a matter of the difference between the word separation and divorce. That's what I took away from that.
Right, right. No, that makes sense. It's like, okay, well then that's like our only argument. We have to fight about this faint line of what it is and we'll focus on this instead of the real picture here. But
yeah, I mean, I feel like it kind of takes me back when Katie and Tom Schwartz, they first separated. I think it's just kind of step one, and maybe it's just not so official and not such a harsh or like final kind of thing to say you're doing. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. What do you think that they'll work it out? Do you think what is your
I don't know. I really don't know. You know, for them, I want to see them work it out.
Yeah, of course.
I would love to see that. I don't want to see a family split. There's kids involved. You know, I would love to see that. Do I think anything can happen, especially when you put so many outside influences like press, cameras, a TV show, cast members who get paid to dig into your shit? Can a lot happen? Yeah, a relationship's hard anyways. And then you add all of these different variables. You have kids, businesses, animals, like cast member. It just, I could see where that could eventually the weight of that load becomes too much to bear. And that's sad, but we'll find out. We'll find out for damn sure. Cause it's only going to be, if this is in fact going on, it's not going to be contained much longer.
No. And cameras are picking back up. So I am interested to see, you know, I hope that, you know, we're seeing some conversations between Kyle and Mauricio. Of course, I want to see the other women's reactions, but I need to see firsthand, like what is going on. And you're right. I mean, I don't think they can keep it under wraps much longer. I think that they're doing a pretty good job, you know, not really releasing much at this point, but I'm waiting for that really big headline to drop.
You're like, I just don't know if that's going to be, yeah, no, I know. Okay, my last question for you before we end up wrapping this up is, how excited are you that tickets are going on sale?
So excited, Adam. I mean, I've been waiting since last October for this. And I mean, I'm ready. Are you just so ready? And it's in Vegas. I mean,
I'm so excited. Honestly, I can't wait. I think that this is going to be such a fun year. There's going to be I do still wonder what's going to go on with this strike and if that's going to affect anything with people, of course, but that could also be settled by the time that BravoCon comes. We're still in July. This is in November.
I hope so.
So we will see, but you know what I mean? I definitely am excited. And of course, I saw Aaron D say thank you and shared your YouTube channel.